Well, everyone, it's time for us to go ahead and compare the Apple Watch Ultra that just came out and the Apple Watch Series 7 that came out last year and see which specific watch is the better one for you. Now, I will definitely tell you if you want to pick up either one of these watches, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these watches, these are very different types of watches for pretty much different types of people. The people who are going to be buying a Series 7 probably aren't wanting to go ahead and upgrade to an Ultra. I think the Series 8 is probably the better one for you. The Ultra is really what the name entails. It is an Ultra Apple Watch that's very durable, has a lot of features based around, I guess, being outdoors if you're into that kind of stuff. Personally, for me, I don't think I would use an Apple Watch Ultra because I'm not really someone who goes outside like that. But if you're climbing mountains and you're doing lots of, awesome things like that, well then it may make a little bit more sense to buy an Apple Watch Ultra, and I'll explain that throughout this video. But in terms of the bodies and the casings, the Apple Watch Series 7 comes in two different sizes, a 41mm size and a 45mm size. Now with the Apple Watch Ultra, it comes in a 49mm case. So there's only one size of the Apple Watch Ultra, and it is an overall bigger watch than the Apple Watch Series 7. So you have to keep that in mind. There's not that much customizability with the Ultra. It's like one size and that's really all you get, which for better or for worse, I think that's a really cool thing, to be honest. You don't have to worry about sizes or different bands or anything like that. Just the same thing will work for everybody. Now, the bands are interchangeable between the top model of the Series 7, so you can get the 45mm bands and they'll fit on the Apple Watch Ultra. So I think that's really cool. I'm really into that. But since we're talking about the displays, this is another big difference. Now they both have always on displays, which is nice, but the Series 7 has the brightness going up to 1000 nits. The Apple Watch Ultra goes up to 2000 nits of brightness for that specific Apple Watch, which is crazy. So what does this mean? Well, think about it like this. The Apple Watch Ultra can go twice as high in terms of brightness than the Series 7. That is absolutely insane. And that is a very big display. I mean, that's a super, super bright display. Now, you can go ahead and customize the brightness all you want. You can lower it if you want to, but you have that ability of going up, which I think is really awesome. Now, that is to say it is a much more expensive, Apple Watch. The, Ultra is starting at $799. The Apple Watch Series 7, on the other hand, used to retail at $399 last year. It's probably going to go down to like $299 in the used market, probably less than that. So it's going to be a much cheaper watch on the Series 7 side than the Ultra side. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, they also have kind of the same button styling, but there is a new side button. I guess they're calling it the action button on the Apple Watch Ultra. So it essentially acts somewhat of a customizable button. So you can go and customize it for a couple other things, which is cool. I'll make some videos on my second channel on basically how to customize it and everything. But that is a really cool thing that Apple Watch has as well that the Series 7 doesn't really have. Now, a few other things in terms of the side. The digital crown is now a little bit bigger, as well as the button sticks out now. So I think that's cool. So if you're in a pinch and you're running, or you don't have to worry about finding the crown and changing it. These things are, protruding out, so it's a little bit easier to kind of maneuver around. And on the back, the same Apple Watch charger will work on both still. So I'm glad Apple didn't change out the Apple Watch charging or anything like that. Luckily, these things still work the same. And there's now a second speaker added on the Apple Watch Ultra or with the Apple Watch Series 7. So the 7 still kind of had like a speaker in it but the Ultra now has a second one, which I think is really awesome as well. Now, those are just the things on the outside. Internally, we are going from the S7 chip within the Series 7 to the S8 chip within the Apple Watch Ultra. Now, they both share the same W3 wireless chip. They both have U1 chip inside as well. So not super crazy amounts of differences there, but you are getting an overall, faster chipset on the Apple Watch Ultra. Although from one generation to the other, there's not really those many speed increases, but still cool. You're going to be getting a longer lasting watch on the Apple Watch Ultra as well. Now, some other things, you are getting a temperature sensor on the Apple Watch Ultra. That is something we did not get on the last generation of Apple Watches, but now we have that on these specific watches. We still get, blood oxygen censoring. We still have the ability of, utilizing that ECG application. We still have high and low rate, heart notifications as well, which is cool. There's a little difference with the water resistance. So the Apple Watch Ultra goes up to 100 meters of water resistance. The Series 7 only goes up to 50. So still good, but, definitely better on the Ultra. And it also is dust resistant on the Apple Watch Ultra as well, which is really, really cool. Now, same capacity with 32 gigabytes between both. You're still getting the fast charge times between both as well. But another big thing is the battery life. And this is the thing that's going to take us home. I mean, really the features between them are kind of similar. Like if you're not going to be doing anything crazy with your watch, it's not really going to be that big of a difference. But if you're utilizing these watches, your Apple Watch Ultra from Apple's own website, it says it'll give you 36 hours of battery life just from the get-go, just if you're just using this thing. That is a long period of time. My Apple Watch, like I've used before, definitely do last quite a bit of time too. But I know people who probably use their Apple Watch a combined time in a day, probably like not even like 3 hours, dude, in a day. I mean, how much are you really utilizing it? On my Apple Watch Series 4, I can probably go like 2 or 3 days just from using this watch. I feel like if you really wanted to, you could probably go through the Apple Watch Ultra for like a week if you really wanted to. Again, if you're like, not going anything crazy, not like playing games on your watch or anything. But if you're just checking it, you're viewing it, you could probably make it last for at least a few days. My Series 4 can last a few days. And they also say that 60 hours of, battery life isn't uncommon if you're on low power mode either. So I will tell you, in my opinion, going from a Series 7 to an Ultra, it may seem like it's like it's like a no-brainer, but you have to keep in mind it's a much bigger watch, it's more expensive, and you have to kind of ask yourself, do you need those types of features? If you don't need all those durability features and features that come along with, that are more tailored to outdoorsy type of people, well then, it may make just more sense to buy a Series 7 and save a bunch of money that way. But regardless, I think the Ultra is an ultra watch, and I'm glad Apple made it because it's there for somebody, There's got to be people who like that watch. And if I was somebody who needed a durable watch like this, that would be a very cool watch I'm glad there's one that is available in the Apple ecosystem. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.